I never thought I'd be writing something like this. Even now, as I sit here alone, my hands trembling, I keep replaying every choice I made that night, every word I shouted, and every silence I chose to keep. Back then, I was 38 and my husband 39. We had 2 children, Adrian, who was 18, and Isabella, who was 9. Despite the age gap, I always believed they shared a bond. I assumed they cared for each other, that my son watched over his little sister the way any older brother should. Adrian was reserved, bookish. He loved studying, reading, and keeping to himself. He wasn't rebellious, never gave me trouble, never made me doubt him. Isabella was his opposite in every way, bright, talkative, full of life. Since I worked part-time and my husband was gone for long stretches, Adrian often looked after her after school. He'd come home from college and stay with her until I returned. There were never any signs, no warnings, until one evening when everything unraveled. It was a family dinner, spaghetti on the table, wine my sister-in-law had brought, kids laughing in the living room. My husband, our children, cousins, everyone gathered around. It was ordinary, until Isabella, without emotion or tears, simply announced it, as though she were telling us the neighbor's dog had bitten her. "Adrian touched me down there," she said plainly. The room froze. My cousin went silent mid-sentence. My husband's eyes snapped to mine. I turned to my daughter. "What did you just say, sweetheart?" I asked carefully, my voice trembling. "My brother touched my private parts twice." The air left my chest. No one spoke for several seconds. Then my husband rose abruptly, his chair clattering behind him. My body moved on instinct, following him. I called Adrian. No response. I called again more firmly. "What's wrong, Mom?" His voice finally came through. "Come home now." "What happened?" "Just come home." 20 minutes later he walked in, his backpack still slung over his shoulder, confusion written on his face. "What's going on?" he asked. Before he could even set his things down, my husband shoved him hard against the wall. "Did you touch her? Did you touch your sister?" he shouted. "What? What are you talking about?" Adrian stammered, pale and shaking. "No, I swear I would never," but my husband didn't let him finish. His fist connected with Adrian's face. My boy crumpled to the ground, blood trickling from his nose, staring up at us with a look I can never erase, terror, disbelief, and something deeper. Betrayal. And I just stood there. I didn't run to him. I didn't defend him. I didn't believe him. My husband stormed off to Adrian's room, grabbed his clothes and papers, threw them outside. His voice thundered. "You're dead to us. Never come back." Adrian sobbed, begged. "I don't understand. Please don't do this." "It isn't true." But I only clutched Isabella to my chest, silent. Not a single word left my lips. From that night on, Adrian was erased from our lives. We locked the doors against him, changed the locks, canceled his college funding. He never stepped foot inside that house again, never called, never wrote. We convinced ourselves we had done the right thing. Weeks were spent telling each other we were protecting Isabella, reassuring ourselves we had acted as good parents. We asked her a few times if anything else had happened, and she always said no. We never took her to therapy. We believed our love was enough. And for a while, life seemed normal again. Isabella laughed, played, slept through the night. I told myself that was proof we had done what was necessary. My husband refused to mention Adrian's name, and if I ever whispered that I missed him or wondered about him, my husband's stare would freeze me. To him, Adrian no longer existed, but I dreamed of him. I dreamed of the boy on the floor with blood on his face, staring at me with wide, broken eyes, silently asking why. Because I never questioned. Because I never listened. Because that was the night I destroyed him. Months passed. Isabella seemed happy again. She even said she felt safe now, and I clung to those words like a lifeline. And then came that Saturday. Isabella was on her way to art class, riding with an older cousin. The afternoon was quiet. I was folding laundry when the phone rang. I don't remember much of the call, only fragments burned into my memory. "Accident. Head-on collision. Ambulance, 1 dead. The girl is critical." We rushed to the hospital. I still see it when I close my eyes, her small body pale and lifeless, tubes covering her face, doctors shouting orders, the hallway echoing with screams. My niece was killed instantly in the crash. Isabella survived, but barely. The diagnosis was devastating: severe internal injuries, a damaged kidney, internal bleeding. She would need emergency surgery and most likely a transplant. Time, the doctors said, was against us. We had to prepare for the worst. I never left her side. I sat in that chair in the ICU for days, refusing food, refusing rest, my eyes fixed on the monitors keeping her alive. My husband turned into stone. He didn't cry, didn't speak, just stood there hollow. And then one night Isabella opened her eyes, weak, fragile, but aware. She gave me the smallest smile and whispered, "Mom, do you think heaven is real?" My chest tightened. "Yes, darling, of course. And do you think bad people go there if they're really sorry?" "Why do you ask, sweetheart?" Her gaze drifted far away. "Because I did something really bad." My stomach dropped. "A few months ago, I lied. I lied about Adrian." Her voice broke, tears spilling down her cheeks. "It wasn't true. He never touched me. I just wanted to punish him because he wouldn't let me use his tablet. And then I got scared. I didn't know how to tell the truth." Her sobs were quiet, desperate. "I ruined him, Mom. I killed my brother, and now I'm going to die too." I held her tightly, whispering, "Don't say that. Don't. I forgive you, my love. I'm right here." But inside, something shattered, not only for her, but for Adrian, for the boy whose bloodied face still haunted me, for the son I abandoned without a second thought. After Isabella's confession, I could no longer breathe. My chest felt crushed under the weight of guilt. I had destroyed my son, our son, based on a child's careless words. I told my husband what Isabella had admitted. He stared at me silent, his jaw tight. For the first time in years, he looked afraid. We both knew what had to be done. Finding Adrian wasn't easy. We had cut every tie, erased every trace. But desperation has a way of guiding you. Through relatives, old contacts, and sheer persistence, we finally tracked him down. He was living alone in a dingy apartment on the other side of the city. When we showed up at his door, he opened it only a crack. The boy I remembered was gone. In his place stood a man with hollow cheeks, tired eyes, and a look that made me want to collapse, anger, pain, and a coldness that pierced me deeper than any knife. "What do you want?" he asked flatly. I tried to speak, but the words stuck. My husband blurted out the truth. Isabella was dying. She needed a transplant. He was her only chance. Adrian's eyes flickered, but not with warmth, only disbelief. "You have some nerve," he said slowly. "You throw me out like garbage. You destroy my life. You let him hit me. You let everyone think I was a monster. And now you come to me because you need something." "Please," I whispered. "She admitted it. She confessed. She lied. You're innocent. I was wrong. I should have believed you. Please, Adrian, she's your sister. She's only a child." He stepped fully into the doorway then, his face inches from mine. "A child? You mean the child whose lie ruined me? The child you chose over me without hesitation? The child you held while I bled on the floor?" Tears blurred my vision. "I'm begging you. She will die without you." His voice cracked just once. "I already died, Mom, that night, and none of you cared." My husband tried to grab his arm, desperate. "Be a man. Do the right thing for your family." Adrian yanked free. "Family? Don't you dare use that word. I don't have a family anymore." And with that, he shut the door in our faces. After Adrian shut us out, hope drained from me. The doctors kept repeating the same grim words: "Time is running out." Isabella's condition grew worse every day. Her skin turned gray, her voice weaker, her laughter gone. I tried everything. I pleaded with the doctors to find another donor, begged relatives to test for compatibility. None were a match. Only Adrian could save her. Each night I sat at her bedside, brushing her hair back, whispering lullabies from her childhood. She would smile faintly, but her eyes carried the weight of someone far older than 9. One evening, as the machines beeped steadily in the background, she asked me softly, "Do you think Adrian hates me?" I choked on my tears. "No, sweetheart, he's hurt, but he loves you. Deep down, he always will." But even as I said it, I knew it wasn't true. Days later, to my shock, Adrian appeared at the hospital. He walked into the room quietly, carrying flowers. His eyes softened when he saw Isabella. She lit up, whispering his name. He sat beside her, holding her tiny hand. For a few minutes, the room felt almost whole again. She whispered apologies, begged for forgiveness. Adrian listened silently, his face unreadable. Finally, he kissed her forehead and whispered, "Rest now, Bella." She smiled faintly and drifted back to sleep. I turned to him, desperate. "Adrian, please, this is your chance to save her. She's begging for another chance." "I'm begging you too." He shook his head slowly, tears streaming down his face. "You already chose once, Mom. You chose her over me. Now you're asking me to choose her again and sacrifice myself for the same family that destroyed me." I reached for him, sobbing. "I'll do anything. Please forgive me. Please save her." He pulled away. "I'm sorry, I can't." And just like that, he left. 2 days later, Isabella was gone. The machines went silent and my world collapsed with them. We buried her beside my parents. The funeral was small, suffocating, filled with whispers of tragedy. My husband stood like a statue, emotionless. I wept until my body gave out. Adrian didn't come. I don't blame him, not anymore. I sit here now, alone in a quiet house, haunted by 2 ghosts. My daughter, whose innocent lie spiraled into a nightmare, and my son, who will never forgive me. I lost both of them the night I stayed silent. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a comment, hit subscribe, follow for more, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the next one.